Hi friends, welcome to English Study Point. Today in this video lecture, I am going to discuss a lecture delivered by Edgar Allan Poe in various cities titled as The Poetic Principle. So this was posthumously published in the Union magazine in the year 1850. It contains short poems by Longfellow, Bryant, Shelley, Byron, Tennyson and others. He in this lecture further developed the theory stated in the essay called The Philosophy of Composition, which was considered to be an essay published in the year 1846. So he in this particular lecture tried to redevelop theories which was stated by him in the essay called The Philosophy of Composition. Poe in this lecture delves into his beliefs about poetry and its significance. Poe regarded this poetry as the most superior form of art which is capable of conveying profound truths and emotions that cannot be expressed through other means. Poe argued that the fundamental purpose of poetry was to evoke strong emotional responses in its reader rather than conveying mere information or recounting stories. Here, Poe believed that poetry should be like that it will help in stimulating the soul and provoke intense emotional reactions like fear, wonder, or longing in readers when they read any sort of poetry. So poetry should be written in such type of manner. The next point is unity of effect is a critical concept in Poe's theory of poetry, emphasizing that every aspect of a poem should work together to create cohesive means poetry should be written in such manner that it will help in forming connections when readers read another form of another kind of stanza. So it will help them in forming connections when they read another or when they proceed with another stanza, an impactful impression on the readers. Here he advocated for poems to be meticulously crafted where each word and image serves to enhance the overall meaning and emotional resonance. Poe is suggesting that poetry should not be didactic or moralistic, and instead he is saying that primary objective of a poet should be to create beauty and evoke emotions in their poetry. So here he is telling ways to other poets that they should write their poetry in such a manner that when other readers read their poetry, it will have a kind of aesthetic experience in readers when they read their poetry, and it will transcend other readers from earthly concerns and connects them with deeper truths of life and sentiments. Poe believed that poetry should combine the beautiful and the sublime, merging exquisite language. Exquisite means best or excellent language with powerful emotional depth. So here he is saying that poetry should capture the ineffable essence of human experiences and expressing truths that are beyond the realm of prose. He believed that poets should possess a unique ability to connect with the subconscious mind, tapping into primal emotions and archetypal images. Here, Poe is suggesting that poet should be such that they have their enhanced level of imaginative faculties. With the help of enhanced imaginative faculties, they are more creative and provide insights into their poetry to the readers. Poe valued originality and innovation in poetry, advocating for poets to push boundaries in language and form. So, here he urges poets to be bold and experimental in their use of language and imagery, which will help them in creating fresh and surprising effects for the readers who are reading their poetry. Poe criticized the predominant poetic criticisms of his time for fixating on technical rules and norms rather than focusing on emotional impact and artistic quality. So, here Poe is encouraging other poets that whenever they write poetry, they should be assessed, means poet should be assessed based on its ability to evoke emotions and its aesthetic merit rather than adherence to traditional standards. who explored the interplay between poetry and music, highlighting the importance of rhythm and sound in creating a musical effect within poetry. Here he asserted that poetry should be written in such a manner that it will help in providing readers sensory experience and also engage both intellect and emotion through a harmonious blend of language and music. Intuition and inspiration were central to Poo's understanding of the poetic process, suggesting that great poetry often stems from profound wells of unconscious creativity. Here, he urged poets to have faith in their instincts, allowing their imaginations to roam freely without being hindered by rational thought. Poe viewed poetry as an avenue of escapism, offering a means to transcend the penalties of ordinary life. So he believed that poetry is such form of art which possess ability to transport readers to alternate realms where imagination could roam unhindered. Who advocated for poetry to possess an aura of mystery and ambiguity, encouraging readers to delve into multiple layers of meaning and interpretation. Here he is encouraging poets to be enigmatic and thought provoking, which will allow readers to engage with the text on a profound and personal level. Then Poe contended that poetry should capture fleeting moments of beauty and transcendence that fleetingly pass in the course of human existence. He argues that poetry should be written in such a manner that it will help in immortalizing these fleeting moments and which will ultimately enable readers to relieve them through the potency of language. Poe highlighted use of symbolism and allegory in poetry, suggesting that these literary devices could evoke deeper levels of meaning and emotions. Here, he believed that symbols and these allegories could communicate intricate, means complex sort of ideas and feelings consciously, and which will also helps in enriching poetic work. So that is why they should use, means poets should use some sort of symbols as well as allegories in their poetry. Poe posited that poetry should be a deeply personal and unique form of expression, reflecting the individual sensibilities and experiences of the poet. He is encouraging that each poet should find their own sort of distinctive voice and perspective, which will create works that were authentic and true to their inner vision. Poe believed that exceptional poetry possessed the ability to transcend temporal and cultural boundaries, resonating with universal truths and emotions. Here, he argued that whenever a poet is writing any sort of poetry, then uh, he should try to present his poetry in such a manner that it will help in bridging gaps between individuals and societies and fosters a shared human experience that transcends linguistic and cultural frontiers. The poetic muse was a concept Poe explored, portraying it as a form of divine inspiration that guided and motivated poets in their creative pursuits. He suggested that these things, means poetic muse is a kind of vessel which will help in driving poets to write poetry and also provide insights and energy to poets to write their poetic work or to compose their poetic work with the help of with the act of writing. Poe claimed that superior poetry left enduring impacts on readers, instilling feelings of awe and wonder that lingered long after the poem has been read. So he believed in exceptional poetry which had the capability to enlighten and transform readers, broadening their perspectives and open their minds to new possibilities. Then passion and emotion were emphasized by Poe in poetry, asserting that great poets should infuse intensity and sentiment into their works, pouring their hearts and souls into their writing. So in this particular line, he contended that poetry should be an intimate and profound mode of expression which helps in reflecting the poet's deepest emotions and desire. That is why he considered this form of art as very much superior as compared to other forms of art. The Poetic Principle by Edgar Allan Poe provides a profound exploration of poetry, highlighting its capacity to evoke emotions, convey truths, and transcend conventional boundaries. So, this particular essay offers a vision of poetry as an elevated art form capable of transporting readers to ethereal realms and also eliciting potent emotions and articulating truths that transcend the limitations of language and culture. Then, with this video lecture ends here. Hope this video lecture will help you in your exams. Thank you.